What's going on, beautiful people of YouTube? This is Renebean. Welcome to another episode of Life of a Game Hunter / Collector, the vlog series I started up just kind of give you all a tidbit of what it's like to be someone who avidly hunts games. But anyways, today's agenda, I finally got in, let me show you here, this package, which contains 2 GameCube style joysticks for the N64 controller, which we are going to change out. You see how this stick is loose? Beautiful controller, but the stick is shit. If you've ever used one of those GameCube style joysticks, they actually work really well, especially for games like, you know, Mario Kart. They're wonderful. So I'm going to show you guys how to change that, how to clean this one out completely, and then... But, well, actually, not and then, but first, what I'm super excited about, now, excuse the mess, it's been a busy day, like, I just changed the gasket on the transmission pan, that's what that is for, it's disgusting, but I need to dispose of it properly. This is an air compressor. I'm super excited to hook this up, so I got all my accessory kits. I'm going to thread tape all that, all the pipe fittings up, get it set up, clean this out over here, and, I'm so excited. I am getting... so exhausted using my hand pump, which I love, but it's going to be nice to have continuous airflow and quite a bit of it. So anyways, let's set that up and see how it looks. Alright everybody, so it's actually the next day. I set up the compressor, started messing around, next thing you know it was a little bit late. So anyways, I'm going to show you what we got going on here. We got it all hooked up. Also, I sold today, I just got back from meeting a lady, sold a PlayStation 1 with like Tomb Raider 1 and 2 for 25 bucks locally. So we got that out the way, but check this out. You see this bad boy right here? Woo! Now, it is variable, so as you know, I can't control the amount of airflow, so I don't think I'm going to, like, just completely destroy something, which I can. 15-foot coil hose, which, you know, coil hose is not the best when it comes to a compressor, but it's actually good in my situation, because it's going to stay nice and neat over there. So I got to clean up this shop. It's getting bad and out of hand. We're going to clean this up, and then I'm going to show you how to refurbish that N64 controller with the GameCube style joystick. I am so happy about this thing. This is going to be excellent right here. Instead of working that little blower, which does work well, this thing's really going to step my game up. So anyways, let's clean this off, set up the camera, and we are going to work on a time lapse. Actually, we're not going to do a time lapse. I want to show you word for word how to do this, because it ain't going to take too long. Alright, so we are a whole lot cleaner in here, and I am so happy for that. This place was getting a little cluttered, and I'm sure a lot of you out there can agree when you're in a dirty workplace, you don't feel productive, you know? So I wanted to get all that straightened up, you know, at least better than what it was. And I wanted to show you guys this, because I'm getting rid of a bunch of packages, like putting everything like in an actual spot. These are just a bunch of extras, and I actually got more screens here. These are those crappy plastic Game Gear screens, which I hardly ever use. That's why I ain't got any Game Gears going right now, because I need to get some more glass screens. But it's good to have all this stuff on hand. I'm telling you, I got multiple original Game Boy screens. There's a back in there, PSP batteries, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, PSP back. This is the type of stuff that you need to have on hand, because whenever you find a Game Boy out in the wild and it's got a scratched screen, you're going to sell it a whole lot better if you put a brand new beautiful screen on there versus what it has. Same. Now, I typically have all the backs to the Game Boys, but I am out. Realizing now I may have a few scattered around, but I'm going to have to order more of those. And some good news is I did order the backlight kits for the original Game Boy, so I got 3 of those coming. So expect some of those, and once we get some more screens, we'll be good to go on the Game Gears. So let's... Whew! I've been working all day and getting a little ahead of myself. Let's get this tripod set up, and we are going to go over how to refurbish this Nintendo 64 controller, which is right here. I don't know why I'm holding the camera down. Beautiful controller, bad stick. So let's set this up and get that done. Alright, so actually I decided on this orange one. I had this one in the game room. This is part of the Fantastic series. This is a very beautiful controller, but this joystick, as you can see, is just absolutely terrible. I would much rather change it on this one than the yellow one. I do got 2, but so we may do the other one. So let's do this right here. And I pulled this game out. The Super Mario All-Stars, obviously, terrible condition. I mean, this thing is just absolutely destroyed. And it does not save. So we were going to open it up and see if it... Because I put this 2032 battery in this Pokemon game, and it does not save. I don't know why. Maybe the battery's dead. But we're going to see if it'll work in this Super Mario All-Stars. And see if we can't clean this and make it look 10 times better, because that thing is just terrible. So anyways, let's get started on the 64 here. And the only thing you're going to need to completely refurbish this N64 is some Q-tips, alcohol, a fine Phillips bit, which I use my little drill here with interchangeable hex heads. The security bit you don't need, and some rubbing alcohol. That's it. Nothing too serious here. Let's get this unraveled. As a matter of fact, I'm going to use one of my ties. People ask me all the time, where do you get these? I get these on eBay. Little reusable Velcro ties. And I like to wrap these cords the proper way. And whenever, you know, you're going to sell something like this is mine to keep, but whenever you go to sell something, it's a good thing to do because it lets you feel the cord to see if there's any splits in it. So that's one thing I've always thought about whenever I wrap these up. See, look at that. Absolutely wonderful. Look at that joystick. That is just terrible. Alright. Opening these up are very simple. It does not take much, especially with this little drill right here. It's a very quick procedure. I don't know which controllers I am missing. I'm not going to collect every N64 variant, but I would like to have most of the controllers. I've got quite a few of them now. I don't know which ones I'm missing. I'm sure I'm missing a few, but you know, like the real rare ones, like the Nintendo Power and the Donkey Kong, that sort of thing. This drill, I could not recommend it enough, man. It makes light work of. I mean, it'll save your wrist. It's insane how much you will go appreciate this thing. Now remember, there's two smaller screws inside here where the rumble pack memory card goes. So if your Phillips is not small enough, it won't get it. All right, so just like that, it's done. Let me get these screws out of the way. If I was smart, I'd put them in a little container, but excuse me, I'm trying to be quick. All right, right away the triggers might fall out. That's okay. And this controller is in very, very good condition outside of that stick. Alright. We have just this exposed. Or we have just exposed this. You see, try to remember how the cord is wrapped around because you'll end up having to put that back in there. And then we are going to have 3 more screws, and that is it. This thing comes right apart. That's these right here where the joystick is in play, or where it's tied down at. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. I've been busy all day. Alright, get that out. There's a black screw right here, but you don't have to mess with it. It's not part of it. And then pull. There you go. You see that right there? That's, make sure you don't lose your little blue flapper there. That's for the Z button. And then now the joystick is completely loose. The last step is just to get it off of this connection right here. You just got to pry it off. I don't have fingernails to pull it. Kind of be gentle, work from both sides. I mean, you're not saving it, but you don't want the port to be bad. Alright, so there's your old joystick. There's little tips and tricks on like how you can like repair these things with like tape inside. Junk them. They're trash. These are awesome right here though. What I've been doing, and I've probably got 3 or 4 now, you know, that had bad joysticks. That's part of my personal collection. That I put these in. You get these on eBay. I don't know if there's a cheaper source. They're about $10. If you get a handful of them, which I usually do, you can work a deal with them sometimes. And all it is a joystick, but it's in like the same fashion as a GameCube. I don't know how to explain it. It's awesome. You can see it here. Very cool looking. These things are great right here, and it's got a little bit of a good rubber feel to it. Very nice. So we're going to put that in there, and this could not be easier, I'm telling you. Before we put that in there, though, we are going to clean these buttons. And like I said, it's just going to make it, or I haven't said, it's going to make it very responsive, cleaning off the actual contacts. So get you some isopropyl, wet that down, and we're going to pull this up. If you be real gentle, you can leave it with the screw right. Where'd that screw come from? I don't remember you. Huh. Alright. And there is basically the N64 controller all in your hand. So clean these contacts right here. These aren't that bad. You'll know if they're bad if it gets really black on your Q-tip. Just been, you know, through a lot of use. Like if you've ever had a controller where the buttons just don't work that well, you know, you got to press them quite hard. Usually it's just because of the contacts. So we're going to clean all that off. And not only am I cleaning off those contacts, I'm cleaning off the actual black bits on where, you know, the controller makes, or the buttons make contact, just to ensure there is a solid connection on all of it. Alright, that is it right there. So it wasn't too terrible on that, not too bad. Oh, I don't think you got the start button though. Got you. Let's go through on the other side. Let's give it a quick dry. It kills me how many people say like their controllers don't work, or, you know, I'll pick them up and they'll say, well, that controller ain't worked in a long time. It's just something as simple as cleaning it with a Q-tip. Alright, we're going to put you back together. We're going to grab this. Make sure there's no dust in there. Alright, we're going to lay you back down. Nintendo's always done this thing with all their products where when going, you know, if you take something apart, it's very easy to put it back together because there's usually only one way a certain item can go back in. They kind of foolproof their stuff. Alright, what the heck? I think it's a piece of the old joystick. Alright. I turned it over to make sure all the buttons are pressable. Alright, now we're going to put in the new joystick, which, like I said, there's no way you could put it in wrong. Let's see. Let's get that screw. Oh, that was one of the N6 or the joystick screws. Okay. Alright. Lift up a little bit here. There we go. And it's already sized perfectly where it'll just sit right where the old one did. And the only difference will be it's just an improved joystick. Now the joystick is not 100% perfect, so if you're playing a game that requires like variable speed with your joystick, like if you know had to go to a walk to a run, and in between quite often, it can be a little sensitive, I guess would be a good word. But for like games that it does not matter, you know, just like racing games, fighting games, maybe. I use it in a lot of situations. I use it for almost all my N64 games that I play. There's some that I won't, like, you know, Mario 64. I like to use traditional. Now they do got that new N64 controller coming out, which I did back, and I'm hoping to get that thing sometime soon. That thing looks awesome. Alright, so all we gotta do is slide this back into See guys, this is easy stuff. You can do this. So I mean, that's why I do these vlog series, so hopefully you kind of like learn, build up the confidence to do these repairs, because it's not hard. All this stuff is just trial and error for me. Holy shit. Alright. That's it guys. That is, look at that joystick. Very nice. That thing feels really good. Feels really damn good. Alright, so I'm going to put that back in the game room. That one is done. So now you know how to do that. So the next thing we are going to do is this game right here. Let's open it up and see what it's about. I mean, it's like, this thing's nasty. I remember getting this thing at the flea market for like $2 or $3 and it said it didn't save, so I mean, this thing is it's very disgusting. it's been sitting for a while. Well, it doesn't have a battery in there, so that might be a good cause on why it won't save. Maybe someone obviously tried to tinker with it. Look how dirty that is. That thing is just terrible looking. Alright, so let me get the soldering gun. Get that thing ready, because we're going to be messing with it. Wrap some tin around it. This would be the quickest solder job ever. All we got to do is desolder one and solder the other. Set that right up there because we're not quite ready. Let's open up Pokemon here. someone told me the battery that you should use, but I don't know if this battery's dead or what. But we're going to put it in Mario All-Stars here. Alright, we'll desolder you and solder that in, and hopefully it'll be the same, or it'll work, so I don't know. Let's polish these pins up real quick. You know, I had a few people get mad that I was using sandpaper on these. This is like 1000 grit sandpaper. This thing is like just a step above a magic eraser. It's not going to hurt it. A lot of people do not recommend it because there are, you know, between the pins and the actual board, there's very, very fine contacts that go, and you can mess them up. And they say, you know, it scratches it. Yes and no. I mean, this is such a fine sandpaper that it's really just taking off that first layer. As long as you are careful with it, don't go crazy on it. It doesn't hurt a thing. Like Brasso works great. But I don't use it. This works fine for me. Some people, you know, I can see where you're coming from, but it's never done me wrong as long as you're careful with it. And it's very quick. But you gotta use very, very fine grit sandpaper. I mean, this thing, you can't use heavy stuff. Alright, we got that pin there. That side there, and we'll hit it with a Q-tip and alcohol just to make sure. Alright, let's hook this soldering gun up. Let's see here. Alright, we got that going. While that's heating up, let's clean up this actual cartridge a little bit. And I actually do have a magic eraser here, which I'm going to use for the bulk of that. I'm just going to hit it with some rubbing alcohol. And I'm going to hit it with this magic eraser here. Magic erasers are absolutely awesome. I mean, they can make short work of a cleaning project, but you got to be careful with them too, because you are technically sanding it down. I mean, that's the goal is to just sand a layer of filth off of it and not go past that. But I've messed things up using this thing before, that's for sure. I don't need to get this thing absolutely flawless, but I do want it to look a lot better than it did, because this thing was just hideous. Oh, soldering gun is ready to go. Let's go ahead and get this on so I don't have to leave this gun on that long. Desolder this point here. I'm sure it's warm enough. Alright, one side. Oh, come on now. Let go. There we go. There's the other side. Get you out the way. Let's tin some spots on this board here. Alright. And then how am I going to connect? I wonder if I should just snip that off. Battery looks a whole lot bigger than it should be, but I wonder if it'll still work. It's got me perplexed. Yeah, I think that's the wrong battery, but I think we can make this work. At least we're going to try to. Alright, what we're going to do, maybe a little bit ghetto, but it's really going to be more experimental than anything. Alright, we got our negative in. So we don't hit anything else. We don't want it to heat up in here. I'm going to put this under it. I can solder those 2 points together, and that may work. I don't know. All right, it's a little ghetto, but guess what? If it works, it works. Alright. Strengthen that up. I don't need that thing going crazy. Oh. Alright. She is in. Unplug you. Let that cool down. Got that paper. Like I said, it's a little ghetto, but it might work. We're going to find out, that's for sure. Alright, where's my... Oh. Remember this guy right here? Alright. Oh, I'm going to love that. That thing is already making a fine impression in the game room, or in the workshop here. Alright, just clean a little bit more of this out. Like I said, I'm not trying to get crazy. I will on the outside, but the inside... probably going to be the last time anyone opens this thing up. Alright, so let's close you. Alright. Put that back on. Let's hit this bottom real quick with some alcohol. Well, that's one thing I do need to order more of, is the batteries, replacement batteries. There's that. Where's the screw? That's the Pokemon. Alright. There's that. Now you want to see some quick work. See how that cartridge looks, like just how nasty it is. Watch this magic eraser go to town. This thing looks really good. Alright. Now the back is discolored as far as, like, I mean, it's not matching. I mean, that happens with some SNES games. Can clean it a little better than what it is. Towel here. We just want to improve this thing from where it was, because it was not looking good. I really hope it saves. I don't know if it will or not, honestly. We're going to go find out. Alright, just getting these corners a little bit better. And it looks 10 times better from what it was. I don't have to go crazy. Alright, oh, dear Lord, if we don't break it. Let's take this to the game room, test it out, see if it works. And we got to take our controller back, and we'll be good to go. Alright guys, so we are in the game room. We got our copy of Mario All-Stars here. We're going to see if it works. I don't know if the battery's going to... if it's going to work or not. I kind of just rigged it in there. So let's throw it in here. I don't have a Super Nintendo in the workshop at the moment to test, so we're going to have to test in here. Let me turn it down. That seems to be like loading fine, so that's good. Don't mind that bubble wrap. Bubble wrap's good stuff. Alright. Let's crank it up. It'd be neat if it saves, but like I said, I got my doubts. The battery was ripped out to begin with. So there's no telling, yeah, obviously there's no save file there. Alright, let's crank it up. Alright, that's good enough for me. Save and continue. Now, so I should have just saved and quit. It should show World 1-1 if it's saved here. Yep, alright, so now, let's turn it off. I'll pull it out. I don't want any sort of connection. Again, put it back in. turn it back on and see if it saves. Moment of truth, I guess. I mean, I still can sell it, because, I mean, keep in mind, none of these Mario games saved originally, so... son of a bitch. Alright, can't save them all. But, like I said, probably is just the wrong battery, or there was an issue to begin with. Like I said, the battery was ripped out already, so... other than that, guys, that's it for today. I'm going to call it quits. This will be the end of this episode, so as always, I want you all to take care, and enjoy the rest of your day, people.